Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of Stargate Flames of Hope. We are here and we are excited to be playing 2 weeks in a row because we had to skip a week. But we're here. So we're gonna go around, we're gonna say who we are, who we're playing, and where do you think the exit is to this place? Hi, I'm Lindy, and I'll be playing Ixora, the Turin scientist of the group, who I think is the least miffed about being trapped down here. And I think the way out's through the bottom of this mysterious lake. Fiddler, deception check. How about you? How are you doing tonight?
Hi, I am doing well. Fiddler, on the other hand, is out of sorts, surrounded by all this random, excessive, organic stuff everywhere. What is this? Where is the technology behind all this? I just don't understand it. Like, I can't kick it and make it work, and that's not good. If you can't kick it and make it work, then it's not working in the first place, and so it should be burned and destroyed and replaced with something with real technology in it. This is
And
the way.
that's the way out? Burn it all down?
Burn it all down.
Okay. How
We'll
about
find a
you?
door that way.
D20 coup de grace. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good, I'm gonna be playing Gorak. He's Jaffa scout, and he's stoic and stuff, and doesn't really care to burn everything.
The naturalist degree. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, But he's ready to definitely find a way out of here because people are hurt. And
Yes, we do have
they
an injured
need
person.
medical attention.
Shiny Pilot is not an injured person. How are you?
At least not yet. But I'm doing good. I'm going to be playing Lieutenant Jake Miller. He's a Tari of Earth, and he is the new lead for the team as we go out for Stargate Phoenix 3 and do our missions and inside this dome. My feeling is that the exit has got to be a teleportation of some kind somewhere. Where? I don't know, but it's definitely teleport. It's got to be.
Wonderful. The only one who actually knows the answer to this question would be our Gate Master, Nuggetosaurus. So what is it? I'm kidding, I'm kidding. How are you?
I'm doing great. And hopefully you guys will find out the answer in this episode. We'll see, how things go and how roles happen because roles have kind of fucked you guys over in the past.
Most of the time in this game.
But, it's fine. Everything's gonna be okay. I promise. Nobody's gonna hopefully die tonight. It'll be fine.
Hopefully. So much
hopefully.
of a promise then, is it?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm Nuggetosaurus. I am the gate master for these wonderful people tonight. Last time, our dear adventurers were exploring a ancient temple that was found on the second continent on the Stargate Phoenix Command's home planet, essentially, where they uncovered some secret passages that led them down into this sanctuary, this force field encased biome very, very far beneath the surface of the planet. They encountered a pretty angry dinosaur that took some chomps but didn't really sink its teeth into anyone very effectively, although our dear Katie did end up getting knocked out by a mysterious stranger through completely random rolls. I promise it wasn't targeted.
No.
I rolled for it, you guys all saw it. And you guys eventually followed the trail of this new person and found them in a cave that they seem to have made their home. You spoke with them a bit and came to the realization that they have very little memories of their name, their, how they came here. They know that they have been here for a very, very long time. They can't tell you exactly how long, but for a very long time. They also informed you that occasionally creatures are sent in, they appear, they show up in this biome, whether it's as a food source for her or if it's a test to hunt. Nobody really knows. She just kind of tries to survive. She also informed you that there is a lake that you guys are going to go to in the morning to get cleaned up and get some fresh water and some things like that. Throughout the night, I believe Ixora was the one who you heard a noise for a total of 38 seconds overnight at a random time in the middle of the night. But otherwise, nothing really happened. Who was on the final watch of the night?
Fiddler.
Fiddler? Was it Fiddler? Okay.
It was Fiddler.
Fiddler, during the last hour or so of your watch, you notice movement. So you're in like an alcove in the hallway, and you can see into the cave that everybody is sleeping in. You notice some movement within. It looks like somebody has woken up, but you can't quite tell from this distance who it is.
Okay. I'll just kind of keep an eye out, quiet, because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. I'll just keep my little watch going, because I'm kind of keeping an eye both ways, because I don't trust her. I don't trust all this organic crap, and I don't know what's outside.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, please. And
Of
you have like
course.
essentially dark vision, right? Because you're subterranean.
Yep.
Okay, good. So no disadvantage or anything.
21.
21. Okay. So you're keeping an eye out. You're noticing. You don't see any movement coming from the entrance, coming from where you guys came in, the cave tunnel.
Right.
You do see and hear some movement within the cave where everybody is sleeping. You see at one point the figure, they pass like kind of by the door, and you recognize it as Katie. Katie is awake.
Okay.
And you can't super tell. She looks confused. Like she doesn't quite understand how she got here because she's been unconscious. But she seems to be checking on everybody and making sure that you see her take the 2 fingers to everybody's necks, making sure everybody's still alive and breathing. She does not go over to the stranger. She keeps her distance from them. But everybody else, she checks on Rock first, and then Ixora, Goa'uld, and Jake. After she checks on everybody, you notice her come back, and she kind of comes to the entrance of the cave. And were you stealthed for your? I can't remember if you stealthed yourself for your.
Yeah, I was
watch.
pretty much trying to hide kind of in the corner, so I don't know if we actually rolled that then. So
okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check. If you
not all that
14.
great.
Okay. And her perception, let's just see. She is actively looking. Okay, she does. She does notice you in the corner, and she's like, "Oh, kind of worried that we lost you there. Didn't see you." Sorry. Are we trying to be quiet?
Yeah, come here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come here.
And she heads over and she'll like sit down next to you in the alcove.
How are you doing?
My head hurts, but and I'm confused. I don't know how I got here, but I'm okay.
All right. Rock carried you.
Okay.
The person who was fighting the big beastie.
Vaguely.
Okay. Well, we eventually came to an understanding and were staying in their abode.
Oh, okay.
That's the stranger down there.
Right. I think they knocked me out. They like tackled me. Do I remember that correctly?
I believe they knocked you out because you're about to be, well, not so much knocked you out. They tackled you because you're about to be shish kebabbed by the beastie.
Yeah, I do vaguely remember being terrified. Yeah.
Big thing.
Give me just a second. And you see she closes her eyes. And she's silent for it's like a solid minute and a half. And when
just having a chat inside.
Yeah. When her eyes reopen, you do see like a faint, like the fading of that gold, that gold. She's like, Ko's okay too. Just, was very confused onto why we were unconscious for so long. It seems it's really dark.
Really strange happenings, really. I think the others will have some questions for you because I've been kind of out of sorts. Yeah, all this dirt and plants and non-kickable things. Not really my thing, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just. I mean, although the cave is nice, it's a nice touch. I grew up in caves and whatnot.
Right,
So,
right.
but
I do
beyond,
remember that in your file. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm just doing my thing here. But I'm glad you're doing better because Rock was really concerned for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Do you mind if I hang? I don't want to go back to sleep. Do you mind if I
no,
stay?
it's
and
probably
hang out?
not wise for you to. I mean, especially if your head's still hurting, it's probably wise
Yeah.
to. No,
Probably
sure.
Stay away.
If,
Okay. And unless there's anything else you want to talk about with Kathy and Co, they will stay awake with you for the remainder of your watch for the last hour or so.
Yeah, I don't really remember if there's anything that Fiddler would have asked from, but I
Right,
know there's
right.
probably other questions that are coming soon anyway. So
Yeah.
he'll just
yeah.
small talk with her, just little conversations just to kind of bide the time,
Yeah.
whatnot.
yeah.
So
Absolutely. And
nothing important.
Yeah, she happily engages as well. The hour passes. You do see through the very minimal light that's able to come through the hole that's been bored into the cave ceiling. The sun has started to rise, or what mimics the sun here, the sun. And the rest of you slowly come to consciousness.
Yeah. Ixora is a big old morning person, so
Mhm.
for sure is awake.
Oh yeah. Pretty much as soon as it starts to lighten, you're up, you're awake.
Oh, did anybody else sleep okay?
Breakfast.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think I found every single rock in this cave.
I have prepared a mud soup.
As you guys wake, you do notice that Kathy is not in the cave.
Where's Kathy?
Where's Kathy?
She appears not to be in the cave.
Fiddler.
Fiddler?
He'll start going towards the tunnel.
Yeah, I was gonna say kind of stumble.
We'll both start walking in, because
Oh, yeah.
watch is over now that everyone's awake.
Yeah.
Hey,
now that-
morning.
Hey,
Oh,
Good morning.
There
Kathy's
you are.
fine.
yeah, Xora and I
Oh.
were wondering where you guys were.
Fiddler
woke
and
up.
Kathy have been found.
yeah,
Yes.
I woke up about an hour ago and didn't want to go back to sleep. So
Understandable.
Y'all-
I have a couple of questions for you.
I told
Okay.
you. I'm sorry.
Miller might have some as well.
Sure.
I made some drawings yesterday of the dinosaur, and it's that same note that I had to Jake the last session where it's like something is off with
Something's
our
not
host.
quite right. Yeah.
Yeah. And she'll have made addendums to it, has lived hundreds of years here. Do you sense if anything's off? Any naquita ? Yeah.
Okay. She'll she'll examine it and she's like, "Oh, that's what came at me. Oh, God, that's terrifying." Okay. And she will as subtly as she is able. We'll just do a stealth check first. Okay. Not super subtly, but y'all's host does seem to be distracted with getting food ready.
Mm-hmm.
So Kathy seems to be under the radar at the moment. She will, you guys all notice that her eyes flash, that Goa'uld.
Mm-hmm.
And her demeanor changes a little bit. She's not
Coast coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kathy is very she's very much so like peppy and bounce. She's got that bounce in her step kind of thing. Ko is very much more still very like poised and regal, but she's very still. Like she's not nearly as all over the place as Kathy seems to be. Ko
It's a good
is
thing
there
that our
for-
host Jane doesn't know
yes.
Kathy's normal demeanor yet.
Right. You guys do see that the party, you guys recognize that Ko is out for. She's out for a while. She's out for about 5 minutes. And you guys have never seen Ko come out before. The whole time it's been Kathy Aside from Fiddler for those couple of seconds when Ko was fading away during that conversation this morning, this is the first time you guys have actually seen her and seen any other demeanor from Kathy. After about 5 minutes, when Jane finishes making food and starts passing it out to everybody, Ko turns away to talk to Rock. And who would be in that area? Who would be near Rock at this moment in the morning?
Well, I ship it. So
Ixora. Okay, so
Yeah.
Ixora, you're close to Rock, and you can see as as Ko turns to Rock, her eyes flash, and Kathy comes back essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Jane passes out what seems to be dinosaur meat
Yes.
to everybody. There's
Awesome.
some type of it's a little tough. It tastes fine. It's passable. Is Ixora vegetarian?
That's actually a very good
I
question.
don't think Ixora is. I think she prefers to eat vegetarian, but
Mhm.
isn't a devout it's the circle of life. We are here in a
Right.
hunter-gatherer situation, but I think would prefer more vegetarian meals, in the mess hall, that kind of thing, and rations. It isn't
Okay.
opposed to it, but chooses not to most of the time.
Okay, so then she'll offer you some food as well. There's not really any vegetarian options that she seems to have at the moment.
Yeah, we ate the fruit for dinner, so yeah.
Yeah. And Jane will hand some food to Kathy as well. Good to see you awake. You took hard bump. She gestures to Kathy's head. And Kathy was like, thanks for getting me out of there. I kind of vaguely remember that dinosaur, and I remember being scared, so thanks. And Jane just kind of nods and then goes about her business.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah, so scary. Yeah. Jane will, or excuse me, not Jane. Kathy is going to gesture for your notepad, Ixora, while Jane's back is turned. And yeah, she's just going to start writing.
Mm-hmm.
She's just, she'll write something and then glance at Jane and then write something more and then glance at. It's a process, and she's taking her time with it.
That's fine.
What are the rest of you guys doing?
I mean, if we got MRE's, instant coffee pack is a must.
Yeah.
So, canteen of water, start boiling up some instant coffee or heating it at least. Or if it's got to be cold, so it'll be cold.
There is a small fire. It's not huge. You guys, you did see Jane was roasting something on it the previous night when you guys came in, and then she removed it as you guys filled up the area. So yes, you can, if you would like, you can heat up your water and do some instant coffee.
All right.
Did you know this cave moss was edible?
Cave moss? I think I'll pass this time, Goa'uld.
Oh, really? How fascinating. May I sample some?
Yes, here.
Y'all want
It's-
coffee?
Oh,
Earthy.
it's got a bit of a nutty aftertaste as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Earthy?
Mhm, mhm.
I'll stick to coffee.
You
Y'all want
guys
some?
suck. I'll take some coffee, please.
Okay,
I
quick.
don't
got-
want the dirt milk or whatever they're doing over there.
I got you there, Fiddler.
I'm just going to be nibbling on my MRE over here
Believe
because
I'm
at least
taking
I
some of
know
this
where
moss
this
to
came
propagate.
from.
Apologize, her name is escaping me right now. The lady that we're host to,
Jane.
Jacob.
We were
Jane.
calling her
Jane.
Jane.
Yeah, she doesn't have a
okay,
name.
Jane
so you guys
Doe.
are just-
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jane
You
Doe.
looked at Jane and be like, coffee? Huh? Have you had coffee? You want coffee? Here, look, I'll just get you a cup. It's good.
Yeah, she looks very confused.
We're gonna give Jane
Jake's-
coffee, and she's gonna be like, "Let's go see the lake."
Jake's half awake and he's like, oh yeah, right. Not from around here.
Yeah,
100 years, coffee. Okay.
yeah. She looks very confused, but if you offer her coffee, she will accept it, and she seems intrigued by the smell. You do know that the food that you guys offered her last night, she was not about, but this, she likes the smell of this.
Okay.
So she'll try this.
Okay, cool.
You guys, go about your morning, do your breakfast,
Take a
make
little moss
coffee.
sample, propagate it later as an experiment.
You
Some
do
water in there.
Yeah, you do notice that this moth is not a species you recognize. So it is a new species,
Gently.
along with all the other ones you've got.
I put back on my
Um,
vest of all my little plants. I probably took them
Yeah.
all like last night and just laid them out.
Make sure they were all,
Nicely.
you know,
Yeah.
safe after all the running and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Carefully put them all back on. Half camouflaged already.
yeah, yeah. You guys go about your morning, eat your breakfast, drink your coffee. Jane seems to love coffee. She
Ooh.
tries it. It's a little hot for her, so she like waits a little bit and then drinks it, and she's enthralled
Story of
with
my
it.
life.
This
Yeah.
this isn't even the good stuff. This is like the instant stuff. Just wait till you try some of the stuff from back at base. Mess hall coffee. It's pretty
She looks confused, but she's just sitting there like sipping the coffee. Um, After some time, Kathy, Ixora, I finished this sketch if you want to take a look at it.
Oh, yes,
And
I
we'll
would love
hand-
to.
hand-
Thank you.
She hands you back the page, and you see that there is a pretty decent, like, she's a scientist as well. Yeah, no, she's a scientist, or is she? No, because Brock is the medic.
Yeah, Brock's medic. She's also a scientist.
Yeah, she's also a scientist. She's a geologist. There are some pretty decent sketches of like the trees and rock formations and things like that she remembers seeing from y'all's walk around.
Yeah, yeah.
And in like the lines of the tree, you see like notes written in, just kind of like integrated into this drawing. You see not Goa'uld.
Okay.
Definitely Naquita? ?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Also sense something strange, can't place it. And then you see signed Co.
Yeah. I will just be like, oh yes, I had the same thoughts about those particular berry bushes. They were very intriguing. To like the can't quite put a finger on it. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
We are in agreement. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, Lieutenant Miller, isn't this sketch that Kathy made phenomenal? And like,
here.
let him see the same things.
On the notes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great sketch. Very good. Very clear.
You guys go about your morning. After a little while, it's maybe about an hour after you guys wake up, have your breakfast, drink your coffee, things like that. Jane is going to move over to the entrance. Blake, now, come with.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the lake.
Yes.
Now is the time to strike. Yes.
But you're going to attack the water?
No, don't. No.
No, that's what he.
Gold or from there, yeah.
Is there anything special about the water?
Technically, it's water.
How deep?
I haven't reached bottom.
Have you tried?
Yes.
Oh,
Whoa.
Ooh.
all right. Well, that's something interesting. Everything else here seems to be planned perfectly. So, you might be right there, Ixora.
Feel like it's worth investigating. Let's go. I'm like, all my plants.
Right. Yeah. Jane will lead you guys out of the cave. So she's in the lead, and before she comes up on the exit, she like gestures for you guys to stay back. And then she will very quietly move up to the entrance, and she is going to do a check. Okay. She sees that the coast is clear and gestures you guys forward, and then heads out. Once outside of the cave, you guys do see it is very early morning. The sun is still rising. You can see like on the walls, you guys know that there are walls there, but it looks like just horizon. In the distance, you see like the sun coming up in what the direction that would be the east is. And you can see it clear as day. You see a sun rising along this wall. You all come out, and it is relatively quiet. You hear some nature noises, like there's some bug sounds. You can hear some rustling off in the trees. You hear the sound of a bird. But nothing crazy. You don't hear any roars or any dinosaurs or anything like that. Yes.
Are we seeing these bugs, birds, or anything? Or are we just hearing them?
That's
Roll
a
me a
great
perception
question.
check.
I would also, because
Absolutely. Whoever
I do
would
have
like
a few
to
bugs
Meg.
in my samples, but
You
you
do.
know, I haven't seen birds yet. 23.
23. Okay. Gorik. 16. Okay.
16.
So Gorik and Ixora, you definitely notice, you can see like movement in the ground. Like there are bugs here. Nothing crazy. It's not like overrun or anything like that. You see,
Seems like a balanced ecosystem.
yeah, pretty balanced ecosystem. Nothing seems overrun. Nothing seems overpopulated. That's what I'm
And
looking
there
for.
are birds and other small animals.
You guys did notice on your walk around the other day that there were small animals. You came across
Just
a
making
couple.
sure that there's still some around here.
You do see, both of you can notice that there's like some rustling in a bush a ways off, and then after a second you see the equivalent of a rabbit. It's not a rabbit. It's definitely alien.
Jackalope.
But yeah, jackalope kind of vibe. It like darts from a bush into like some undergrowth and disappears that way. Ixora, you don't see any birds.
Oh, interesting, but we hear birds.
You hear birds, but you don't see any. You haven't seen any.
Oh.
You as you take stock of that, as you notice that, you also notice that the bugs that you have, none of them have wings.
Oh.
Nothing seems to be able to fly.
The way out is up. Okay.
Mhm.
Possibly.
Well, one way out. If nothing has gills either, then maybe two ways out.
Maybe 2 ways out, yeah. I'll just write this observation down. How peculiar. Nothing here has wings. But there are bird sounds.
It's an odd detail that you guys
Yeah.
pick up on. Is you definitely hear birds, but you realize you haven't seen any at any
Really
point.
weird.
Yeah.
And no flying bugs either.
And no
Mm-mm.
flying bugs. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh.
Yay, no mosquitoes.
Yeah, no
Yay!
mosquitoes.
Just
You guys-
leeches.
Yeah. You guys do notice you don't have any bug bites at this point. Anything you guys would like to do before Jane leads you guys away from this cave?
Just gonna mark our way to the lake. My chalk
Okay.
still.
Yeah, you
The
still have
cave.
that chalk.
Mhm.
You've got about half
Have a stick left.
a stick left. Yes,
Okay.
thank you. You're not totally sure how long it'll take you to the lake, but you imagine it'll be able to get you there.
Okay.
So Jane, yes, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just in case, I try to make contact on the radio.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but Fiddler was gonna build that radio thing to let us send out a signal periodically, possibly.
And he's
You're
muted.
Okay. Yes, I had done that. It's just sending out individual pulse. Like
Okay.
since the radio is useless, I just kind of hardwired it to do that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me just a science check.
Just
Or
sends out an
engineering.
SOS.
Or
engineering.
Nice.
20?
Yeah.
Like natural or
No, it's a dirty.
dirty?
If he has
Dirty
advantage,
20. Okay.
it's
If I have
a
advantage,
natural.
it's a natural.
No, just a normal
Okay.
check. Okay. Yeah, you have that built. You imagine that it's sending out a signal. You're not sure if it's being received, but it is definitely sending. Gork, you were trying the radio. So you try it and you still get that same like it kind of hurts your ears a little bit, but that overwhelming static seems to be disrupting the comms in some way or another. You guys head out. Jane begins to lead the way through the underbrush. You notice that she is taking you in the opposite direction that you guys were going yesterday. she is heading further towards the center of this biome that seems to be here. And it takes you guys a bit of time. It takes you about 2.5, almost 3 hours before she slows her pace and pauses still in like the thick underbrush, and takes count and makes sure that everybody is still there, which you guys all are. Nobody's disappeared yet. Lake is over here. Wait. Check, make sure everything is clear. And she will she walks away from you guys.
Okay.
She is going to
What? I want to follow her.
Okay.
Because she thinks she's a scout, whatever.
Okay.
22.
20. Yes, because you have your advantage. Yeah, so you disappear. Go ahead and roll me a perception check to see if you can notice her.
Dang.
13. Okay.
13.
So with her bonus, you do not see her.
She also doesn't see you, probably.
She doesn't see you either. So
Damn, she's good.
So you walk forward, Goric, and you come to the edge of the brush, the trees and bushes and everything, and you see before you a relatively large lake. It's larger than you were expecting. Like, you guys walked the whole outer rim of this place yesterday, right? And you imagine that with the size of this lake, you guys should have seen it from the edge that you guys walked yesterday. Goric, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Well, it's 12 square miles, approximately, so...
14.
14. Okay. Something's not adding up with the landscape here.
Ooh.
So, like I said yesterday, when you guys walked the perimeter, with the size that this lake is, you should have been able to see it from your perimeter walk, essentially. But you know for a fact that you guys did not see a lake yesterday.
So
something's not adding up with this train.
The train is changing.
It's just one of those like VR treadmills, and it just keeps shifting
as you walk.
I think it's just building the train.
I want to go and inform the rest of the group about this.
Okay.
And I will explain it in that logical way.
Yeah, easy enough. You head back to the group. Everybody's there except for Jane.
There's something odd with the train here. It doesn't make sense. We should have been able to see the lake from easily yesterday.
Yeah.
Any
thoughts? Anybody on this? Anybody encountered something?
Have I heard of anything like this happening before in nature?
You can roll me a nature or a history check, whichever you prefer.
Can I sit there and think too, if there's any mission reports from prior SG teams, something like this?
Yeah, same thing. You can roll me a history or a nature, whatever.
9 nature checks. I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Okay.
Can I consider if there's, because being Toland and having a bit more of an advanced understanding of specific types of technologies, especially our particular brand of technology, like our phasing devices and whatnot, do I know of anything that might, like any advanced holodeck style stuff to cross the streams of technology here for different shows and whatnot? Holographic technologies, things like that I've come across or know of.
Right. Yes. So if you're looking specifically at technology that could do this, roll me a science check, please.
Okay.
I got a 17 to see if he remembers anything from reports.
17. Okay.
Straight rolled 11.
An 11. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Ixora, nothing comes to mind.
Yep.
You don't know. You've never heard of anything like
This
this.
defies the laws of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
it's very unusual. You've never even heard like whispers
Puzzler's
about
puzzled.
this. Yeah, very unusual. Fiddler, with an 11, you know that something like this is possible. Very, very difficult and very, very like way more advanced than anything that the Tolan might be able to create. But you don't know of anything specific.
Okay. But
Jay, yeah.
I was going to say, but the interference, the inability to communicate, it could be high energy, like a wash with high energy particles of some sort that are that's causing the issues.
Yes.
Okay.
You do know, with that 11, you do know that with something that the power it would take to do something like this could absolutely affect communications, sound waves, radio waves, all of that. Jake, with a 17, nothing specific comes to mind. The only things that kind of like ding your memory is not alternate realities, but like virtual realities, essentially. Like you do know very old mission report from Stargate Command of SG-1 being trapped in like a virtual reality where the terrain changed on the whim of the creator. That's the only thing that really rings the bell there. You do also recall it was very, very obscure. It wasn't even really a mission report. It was like a note within a missions report's notes of somebody stating what's the word? Not phase technology, but like displacement technology.
Oh.
Where it was very vague, you couldn't really make sense of it because you're not much of a science guy, essentially.
Yeah.
But essentially it was talking about displacing landscape, displacing like objects, and tricking the eyes into seeing things that either were or were not there. So some type of cloaking, some type of phasing technology, some type of displacement it could be any number of those things, but those are the things that kind of ring your bell.
Jake has a little bit of a cold tingle in his back and a cold sweat just thinking about that, because he's like, crap, if we're stuck in this just like they were, that's not good. So
so Gort comes back and tells you guys all this about the landscape. You guys make all these connections. About 2 or 3 minutes later, Jane comes back. She's like, all right, everything's fine. Come on.
All right.
Question for you. Was there something we needed to really worry about at the lake? Or is it just kind of the watering hole thing,
Only source of water I've been able to find. So if
everything
I
will go
find
there.
it, everything finds it.
Okay. Just checking.
Yes.
Does anything live in the lake?
Not anymore.
Wait,
Anymore?
used to live in the lake.
Well, there's fish in lake.
Overfishing.
Oh, okay.
But also there was a monster. Big, sharp teeth. Ate 3 of us.
Oh.
3?
Yes.
Did it ever come out of the lake, or did it just get 3 of you while you were in the lake?
Well, we were in the lake, but we, many years ago, when there was still some of us, we stopped it. We killed it.
Congratulations.
It was
Ixor now has
impressive.
anxiety that the thing
It's
that
impressive.
Kane dropped last night is another one of those things in the lake. But doesn't say that out loud to the rest of the group, but just keeps that anxiety inside.
Yeah. Have you told anybody about that 30? I don't think you have. Because it was during your watch.
I thought I did. Yes, because I asked her if it was at a specific time.
Oh,
or
yeah,
or the
you
random
did tell
times. Yeah.
Jane. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did tell Jane. So Jane
Mhm.
knows about okay. Okay, good.
And I think a couple of other people heard it too. I think Jake knows as well,
Okay. Okay.
at the very least.
She gestures you guys forward and you guys come out and you do see it's a very nice lake. It's not clear, but
Oh.
it does it's a very dark lake.
Is it like a
Um,
bluish lake or a greenish lake?
Bluish. It's more blue. It's
Okay,
definitely
so less
like, you
algae
can-
because less light. Okay, interesting.
yeah, you can definitely drink the water, and you know that Jane regularly, she told you that she regularly gets, water and stuff from here.
I take a water sample.
But it's not clear. You guys can't see more than, I don't know, like maybe 10 feet down before it gets too dark to see anything. You guys can see some schools of fish. They're not huge, but they're, like decent sized for fishing.
Are they indigenous to the surface?
You
these
don't
also-
recognize the ones that you do see. You don't recognize any of them. They're all new fish.
Does it have any wave action to it, or is it just a calm lake still?
Yeah.
There is movement. It's not like a normal like beach or anything like that. There's nothing like that extreme. But you imagine actually make me a perception check.
Go on, perception.
Ooh.
Yeah, 24.
Natural 20,
With
yeah.
a nat 20. Yeah.
Oh yeah, this lake is definitely moving. It seems to be, you're not 100% sure, but it seems to be maybe like a spring, or at least it functions like a spring.
So something's feeding it from below.
Yes, something is feeding it from below.
Okay. Hey, you guys kind of see that movement on the lake? It looks like something's like coming up from the bottom, like a current or something.
Could be a
Something's-
spring-fed lake or
Yeah.
a really big spring.
Can Jake use that perception also to look up and down try to look along the edges to see if he sees anything, animals, civilization, structures of any kind? He's looking for mostly those hard man-made object type things or animals.
Right. With a natural 20, you do notice there's definitely animal traffic here. Like
Okay.
a lot of it. But you imagine, as this being the only watering hole in this biome, there's going to be a lot of animal traffic here. You don't see anything super recent, like everything's within the last like hour and a half. You do notice a big set of footprints. Specifically paw prints. Like five-toed, kind of looks like a wolf, kind of looks like a bear. Some type of cross
Wolf
between the
bear
two.
thingy.
Yep.
Wolf.
Excuse me. Those seem to be about
Werewolf.
4 hours
The
old.
where?
About 4 hours.
Aware, yes.
Yes. Yeah, those marks seem to be about 4 hours old or so.
Oh. Guess what dropped?
You don't notice any structures. There's no like man-made structures or anything. But something that does catch your eye, off in the distance, like towards the edge of your vision, like how far you can see, you do see like an odd rock formation that just doesn't feel natural to you.
Oh.
Like just the way the rocks are placed is off. At this distance, that's what you can tell.
Okay. Jane, do you have any like bears here? You probably don't know what a bear is. Big, Look at the tracks. Look at the tracks.
She looks really confused, and then she turns and looks at the tracks, and you see like a look of recognition over her face, and she's like, "We have had those before."
Ambush predator at
No.
the watering hole.
No.
Okay.
You will hear it coming.
Oh, that's nice. Well, looking around here, there's something. I keep looking at the rocks down there. Have you been down there before? It kind of points towards the rock formation.
She looks to where you're gesturing, and she very noticeably stiffens, and looks very uncomfortable. And she nods. Those are graves.
Oh. I understand.
And as she says that, you do notice that they're vaguely humanoid shaped from this distance. And you see, from what you can tell with the natural 20 and at this distance, there seem to be about 5 that you can see.
Does the atmosphere seem prudent to where Jake could ask her permission to go visit the graves at some point?
Yeah, it seems like she's more just like uncomfortable with the reminder than like with any, like she doesn't feel disrespected or anything with you pointing them out.
Okay. Jane, later on, if you're okay with it, I'd like to go at least pay the respects to your fallen over there.
Of course, this is not my home. You can go wherever you like.
Kind
All
of.
right, well, just wanted to make sure first before I did.
Yeah.
He's gauging how she reacts about dead and all that stuff. So
she just don't disturb them.
I won't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Other than
Bust to the
her,
ground.
yeah, the claw hand. Other than her asking you like not to disturb them, she doesn't seem
off put by it or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But she doesn't
Look,
seem.
the difference between grave robbing and archaeology is a very thin
very
line.
thin.
I guess
very
what
thin.
I'm seeing here is I want to see if she also though had some sort of other kind of emotional reaction. He's reading her body language in her face too, and if I need to make another check, that's fine too. But you know, he's
go
just
ahead
trying
and
to gauge.
Roll me an insight check.
11.
11. Okay. She's not comfortable, obviously, with this conversation.
Yeah, and he's not going to press it further. But
yeah. She's not comfortable with this conversation, but she doesn't seem upset. She doesn't seem like off put or angry or anything like that. She just seems like death is a fact of life in this biome. So she just, you can tell that she's not upset, essentially.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. And for y'all, I'm thinking Jake would want to be on information gathering mode. He wants to know more about who she was, who the people were.
Meanwhile,
you
I've
could
just
tell a
dumped
lot
out my
about
canteen and I'm scooping up lake water, just for samples.
Kathy actually at this point will speak up and Jake, if you want to go over now, I'd like to go and she kind of like glances at Jane and pay my respects as well. With an 11, I know you were insight checking her, but you can tell that she I like the mention of the rocks and the gravestones, like she perked up a little bit. She's a geologist, she wants to look at rocks.
Okay.
So
we'll turn and go, yeah, that's fine. The rest of y'all gonna be here? Thor's guzzling.
I mean, I'm just trying to keep Exotic out of everything.
I'm like knee deep in this lake, like.
Oh, so's at this point. So is Jane. She's like, you see her like she's washing. She's like she dunks herself under.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beach
I'm
day
trying
episode.
to get like a little minnow or something
Yeah,
in the canteen. Like,
Roll me a dexterity check.
not dexterous. Oh, but it's 20. I got one.
Yeah, you caught one. You caught two, actually.
Oh, I hope they're a
Nice.
mating pair.
Nice.
And Kathy will go over Jake with you towards the graves. Yes.
Fiddler is going to be like at the edge of the water with
Oh,
Ixora.
smart.
And it's like, hey, I wanted to talk to you about something, as the other, smarty in our group.
Yes. As I'm like
Yeah, no,
looking
you
at
keep-
these two fish
Yeah,
I
you
captured in this canteen.
you keep doing what you're doing. You know how we walked around the perimeter of the enclosure and it only took us like 4 hours,
4 hours, yes.
and then it just took us almost 3 hours to cross here to the
Quite
lake that we never
strange.
saw.
Yes. It is unsettling to me.
Well, okay. Well, here. I'm not sure if this is space that's folding or if we're in a reconstruction, if you will, of what we see before us. So, I know that there are some technologies. I know of them. I don't know about them. That could do something like this, which would explain a lot of our intermittent signals and the distortion that we're dealing with. And also why we're so far underground in this huge, massive compound that we didn't know anything about or anything like that. But can you start looking at your samples in a way that, well, can you tell if they're real or not?
It would be quite upsetting if they were not. I have noticed a peculiar fact in that there are no flying creatures, no insects, no birds. All of them, they're all like millipede-like or centipede-like. Or
Well, I mean, everything
not
here has
even
been
flying
curated.
beetles.
I mean, the people, the monsters.
Well, it also strikes me as interesting that there's no flying anything, but there are bird and flying insect noises. The ambiance
sure.
is created to create flying.
I've been
actual
to your
flying
zoos.
creatures.
Well, not your zoos.
No.
The
The human zoos.
the
yes,
Tari
the Tauri zoos, yes.
That the poor animals they keep caged. They have that piped in music as well. Yeah. I mean,
Yes,
if you're
You
creating,
could have a biosystem without bird noises, though. And it does strike me as interesting that we came in through the ceiling. It's as if they want to discourage any upward momentum.
Well, if we can find a door or something like that, or anything that resembles an exit place, I
Do you
can
know what
probably
frequencies that these technologies operated under to test whether these beautiful samples of endangered and or extinct creatures
passed on to me, sort of thing. The rumors of it, the talk of it, me old gaffer kind of told me about it, but
see, are
beyond
these
that,
edible? The moss. It's moss. I ate some of that moss this morning. I'm gonna look at it a little closer, to see just if there's any way of indicating if any of my plants, in particular, because I am a plant expert, well, biome expert technically, naturalist, just to see if there's anything that indicates that these might not be real. Yes.
Okay. Question for you.
Yes.
Would Ixora have a microphone, not a microphone, a microscope or like a magnifying glass or anything
she
like
would
that
definitely
on her?
have one of those little magnifying. I don't think a full-blown microscope, but for sure like a means of magnification, because that's just invaluable as an archaeologist toolkit. Yeah.
So you pull that out, and you're the moss is what you're inspecting.
Yeah, the moss, and if there's like another plant. She's starting with the plants rather than the animals.
Okay.
Because they're more still than those bug samples.
Yeah. So you examine this moss, these plants that you have. Roll me on. Let me just take a look. I'm I'll give you 3 options.
Okay.
You can roll a investigation,
Okay.
a nature,
Okay.
or a science check.
They're all the exact same for me.
Okay.
So,
Can I help with anything? I'm good with science and technology and whatnot. So
yeah,
go for
I'll
it,
roll
sister.
science because you're the one who suggested this. And I have a thing called naturalist. Whenever I make a science check that involves an ecosystem and the creatures within, you add your trouble dice to the check as well.
Perfect. Go for it. And I think I don't remember.
Or the tension die, not the trouble die.
The tension die. Yeah, let me
Yes.
see.
The last one was a D. That was
Eight.
2 adventures
I
ago.
think it was a D8.
I think it's
D8. Okay. So let me
I don't have it. I just have last session's marked down as a D8, so we'll, since they
Carry
kind of
that
rolled
forward.
together,
Sure.
yeah, we'll carry that to forward.
18.
18. Okay. You take out your magnifier microscope kind of little portable one that you got. With an 18, you notice it's definitely organic. It's definitely real. But you notice a couple things as you're inspecting it that make you believe it was artificially made. It was not grown.
It was like genetically created, like modified, cloned,
Like
tampered
cloned, tampered with, specifically made for this environment. Any of those assumptions you would assume to be correct.
I will relay that information to Fiddler.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you see?
But they're definitely organic in composition. However, they do appear to have been designed for this environment.
All right. Well, that doesn't explain the
It
folding
does not.
aspect.
No. What
And
if
I didn't
you're-
notice before to look for excessive parallax between our direction going this way and the lateral directions because, we were just walking on a path. Why would you even consider it?
Exactly. Perhaps there's a small sphere underneath us as we walk. Rotates beneath us.
Well, no, if you consider this, I'm just spitballing here, all right? Well, the exterior is a circle, and we walked around it and had no problem. 4 hours,
It's
quick
true.
jaunt. But if the folding, if you will,
It would expand it, yes.
if it was in concentric rings as you move, getting smaller and smaller, needing more of a transition between if you're moving laterally or moving towards the center, you'll spend more time instead of going around. Like if we walked around the lake, it probably wouldn't take us all that long. But if we walked past the lake to the next wall, it might take us 4 hours again or something like that. So
Well, I will begin timing things, and she boop, 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 pushes some buttons on one of her watches.
Okay.
I was thinking the power needed for this,
Immense.
if it was true, would be excessive, immense, beyond anything. I mean, we're talking ancient level.
Ancient tech. Well, we did see
multiple
remnants of
ZPMs.
ancient.
This is something that I should be able to find something. There should be a panel or a plug or a readout or something somewhere. There's got to
Unless this is like a giant atrium or fish tank, where those again, the Tauri keep like little lizards and things, and small self-contained ecosystems.
But things are getting dropped in. Things are being added.
You have to feed
These
the fish in the fish tank.
That's true. We just need to find a panel. If you can find a panel or a fake door or something like that, anything, even if it doesn't have
Will
even if
keep
it
my
doesn't have a
eyes
doorknob,
open.
I can get through it. Just we gotta
That's how we
find
got in
something.
here. So we'll endeavor to find something of the like to get out.
Fine.
Bottomless lake is very intriguing. Like screwing the lid back out of my thermos.
Yeah, if you like squishy organic things, sure.
Love squishy organic things.
Fiddler
Alright.
just sits down on the shore, just
Yeah.
pouting.
Must there be something electronic at where the sun rises?
Everything that's good is in the sky right now. I mean, our entrance, all of that.
But where it rises is not at the sky.
No, it doesn't exactly rise. It's more of an impression. Like if you're at a point and the sun rises at the horizon point you're looking at is like 60, 80 miles away, depending upon the radius of your planet. So it's not that close. And as it rises, it's still vaguely in a distance.
I don't understand.
That's fine. I'll find something for you to punch or hunt, okay?
I hope that won't be necessary.
Would you be bored?
To be bored? What?
Never mind. Just joshing you, all right? Don't worry.
Who is this Josh?
Nah. Head in hands.
Is Gorik doing anything else during this time? Is there anything he wants to do?
Okay, I'm going to try to make a map.
Ooh.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me. Let's see. You can roll either an intelligence check or a survival check.
I think survival would be my best.
Okay.
How about a critical 26?
Natural 20 for a total of
For-
26.
I make a map that changes.
Though not quite.
No, okay, not that. Cool. All right.
Not quite, but you are able to essentially Ixora like gives you some paper and stuff, and you're able to sketch out a rough map. It's not super specific because it's a little hard to do super specific with this weird landscape, but you're able to sketch out essentially everything that you guys have seen and encountered and distances and things like that, and you have it as accurate as it possibly can be at this moment. Anything else other than making the map?
I want to create it to where there's like an overlay piece of paper
Okay.
that I can put on any changes
Yeah.
that I see as we travel.
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you have to.
I'm done.
Okay. Yeah, you have to do like a little finessing. You take like a sheet of paper and like with your knife, you kind of like, you know how paper, even though it's really thin, has like layers sometimes. You're able to like pull it off so it's a little bit more translucent, so you have this overlay that you can put on there. Okay. Rock is with you guys. He is he's kind of like halfway between the water and the trees. He's keeping an eye on Jake and Kathy as they go out towards the graves, while also like sweeping. He's in sentry mode right now. He doesn't seem very comfortable at the moment. He's a little antsy. He's just keeping an eye on everything. But in the meantime, Jake, you and Kathy are heading over to the graves. What would you like to do once you get there?
He would politely see the graves and do a quick bow of the head and say a quick prayer as he knows. And even though it doesn't really apply, it makes him feel a little bit better. And then he'll be practical about it though and look at the graves and see if there's any markings, names, language, anything he can to gather information. He's not going to disturb the graves. He's just looking.
Right. Okay. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Any offerings, any flowers, any stuff like that. So
okay.
Investigation.
You do notice for free that when you get over there, there are a total of 27 graves over here.
Ooh.
The first
okay.
5 that you saw were just the closest.
Okay, I rolled very low though, 5. So
5. Okay.
I'm gonna need what's her name with me to help.
Yeah. Kathy's gonna do something in a second, but with the 5, you see those 27 graves, and you do actually see a 28th grave that has been dug but not filled. Not quite sure what that's about. You notice that they don't seem to have been disturbed. They are very shallow graves, and the rocks on top seem to have been like placed very purposefully to make it difficult for predators to get in.
Yeah.
You imagine that Jane or one of these people before they died assisted with this, and you know, this place of rest for all of them. Jane, or not Jane, excuse me, Kathy. It's not doing much better. Okay.
Yeah.
So Kathy, she goes over, she kind of walks down this row of graves, and she goes to one of the ones in the middle that's kind of out of the eyesight of like Jane and the rest of the party. And she's gonna shift some of the rocks to see if she can see anything beneath. She attempts to do it stealthily, but she ends up dropping a couple of rocks, and it's a little loud. She like freezes and takes a look, and Jane does notice.
Nah.
You guys see Jane kind of like look over in your direction, and at this distance you can't quite tell what her reaction is, but she does not come to you guys. At least at this moment. She has not moved.
It's Kathy doing this, right?
Yes, Kathy.
Okay.
She like was attempting to move some rocks and accidentally like dropped them and made some noise.
Kathy, I think she's noticing.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to, I wanted to test the rocks and see if, you know, like what the soil underneath was like, if it's like decomposed fertilized soil.
You wanna like let's just put it back for now. Like, can you get something from like the side?
Yeah, let me just, and she just like very slowly just puts this rock back and then picks up like one of like a palm sized stone and pockets that.
Hey Kathy, what you think about that last grave there? Fresh one. You think that's for her?
Well, so she takes a look at it. What's her passive? Intelligence. Okay, not bad. Yeah, it looks like she might have dug it for herself. I
bury her though.
I don't know, maybe she's hopeful that somebody will find her and bury her.
That's fair.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Or she took the grave for her only enemy.
I know. So I'm wondering, I'm like, there's somebody else here. Yeah. And it's a full size like adult grave, right? We're not talking like, oh, this is a grave that's the size of
no,
like...
it's adult size, and you looking at it, it's slightly larger than Jane.
Okay.
Like large enough that she fits in it with a bit of space.
But no headstone, no marker, just a grave.
No headstone, no marker. You do see each of the other graves of the other 27 do have markers. There's no writing, but there is like a oblong shaped stone marking each one of them.
Okay.
And they're all different. It's not like this is like something she's carved or chiseled. They're all just different random shapes, but all that same vague oblong marker.
Okay. Jake would look to Kathy and look around the area and go, well, this hasn't been too helpful to help figure this lady out. You got anything?
I don't. But Ko's been thinking, hold on a second. And she like turns towards the towards like the water line, or not the water, the
like the edge of the grave area.
Yeah, she turns towards the forest. So essentially, like Jane, even though Jane is looking at you guys, she won't be able to see the eye flash. And Ko comes out, and Ko
doing the deep
yeah,
voice, yeah.
I can't do that. But Ko comes out, and you see like Kathy's body, like her posture straightens and like her shoulders go back a little bit, and she calms a bit. And Ko, I don't like this Jane person.
Yeah.
Something about her feels very wrong.
Yes.
I think
That really makes me nervous when you say that.
she reminds me of a Jafar. I don't know. I can't quite place it, and I don't have any evidence. Obviously, there's Naquita. I definitely sense that, but it's faint, like a remnant, maybe not anything recent, and it's faded. She feels like a Jafar to me. I don't have any other evidence other than that it's a feeling. But that I didn't write it just in case. And she did recognize the word Chopper Eye, so that and we are in the structure above is a Goa'uld temple, so and it had ancient and Goa'uld writing it. This whole situation sits very uneasy with me, as Kathy well knows.
Yep, I'm right with you there. I guess all we can do is wait, find out some more. At least so far, she hasn't tried to kill us yet.
No, and I don't think she will.
Yeah.
But whoever is manipulating this place, they're who I worry about. Because this feels like a Goa'uld experiment.
You think, been meaning to ask you, do you think they might have rings in here? You know, the vertical things. Looks like a slinky.
Possible. Yes. I'm well aware of the Goa'uld's transportation rings. Yes. Being a Tok'ra, I know what those are. She doesn't say that.
No, I know.
Like a slinky.
Yeah, like a slinky.
A slinky.
It's possible. We would definitely see signs of it, though. You never see a transportation ring without some anchor.
Unless maybe she buried it.
It could be buried. Either her or the manipulator of this place buried it.
Right.
If it activates, I would be able to tell you. We can definitely sense it when it does. There's definitely Naquita in those rings.
Oh.
I have not sensed it since we got here, if that ease your worries.
It does, but I guess keep a sensory outlook on the area would be.
I always do.
It's very much appreciated. We're kind of blind here for a bit.
I don't like it.
I don't either. All right. Well,
it was a pleasure speaking with you, Jake Miller.
Oh, yeah. Good talking to you too, Cole.
And her eyes fade, and Kathy comes back, and she like just slumps down just the slightest bit, and she's like, "Whew, okay."
How you feeling, Kathy? By the way,
my head hurts, and Ko's head hurts too, which we don't normally both get headaches. It's weird because like,
imagine if you had a migraine.
The symbiote like is in the body, but not the bot. It's weird. But we both have a headache right now. I don't like it. She doesn't like it either. Anyway, yeah, so I'm okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to check.
I'm okay. Thanks. We should probably go back.
Let's get back.
I feel like she's still staring at us. So
yeah. I'll just talk to her and say that we didn't touch nothing. So.
Well, I mean, I definitely touched something, and she definitely saw. Just we could tell her it was an accident.
Well, yeah, it was an accident.
Yeah.
Put it back.
Kathy is gonna go to the edge of the woods, and she plucks like some like just they're like weeds, like daffodils.
Flowers.
Yeah, flowers. And she puts a couple of them. She picks enough to put like one on each grave. And then
nods.
Yeah, and then heads back with you towards the rest of the party. During all of this, during y'all's conversation, Jane, she was cleaning off, filling up, like she's got like a water skin. She dived under for a little bit, just swam around for a couple, like 5 minutes. And she came back on shore and she was watching Jake and Kathy do their thing. And now that she sees that they've come back, she's like kind of returning her attention to the forest. And she is going to. Doesn't see anything. Okay.
I'm waist deep in the water now. I'm like.
Yeah, she's just watching the forest. Just keeping an eye out. What would you guys like to do?
Hey guys, we're back.
Hi guys.
Hi, welcome back.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm
Jane,
glad you have not died.
thank you. Yeah, it was it's a lot of graves over there, guys. And Jane, I'm very sorry you lost so many. Look, we accidentally knocked one of the rocks over. We put it back. That's what you saw us doing. So sorry about that. But Kathy here put some flowers on each grave, if that's okay.
Thank you. It's appreciated.
Look, there's a fresh grave over there. I've gotta ask, is that intended for you?
She's not looking at you, she's looking out into the forest, and she just gives like a very like curt nod. And when you say fresh grave, like it's not fresh, like it
open,
was
sorry.
Yeah, an open. Like
open
it was
grave.
dug, like Kathy is a geologist, like she knows dirt and rocks and things like that. It was dug like a long time
A while ago. Yeah, a long while ago.
But it does look like occasionally it has been like scooped out and re-deepened. Yeah, so Jane gives you a nod, but she does not otherwise respond.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Look, I'm sure we'd probably all agree here. We'd prefer it if nothing did happen to you. So as long as we're with you here, we'll try and make sure that, maybe you can get out of here too with us.
She roll me an insight check.
Let's see. Yeah, 9.
Okay, even
I'm
with a
rolling
9,
horrible.
no, even with like it wasn't a hard check. Even with the 9, you can tell that she appreciates the thought, but she does not believe a single word. Like she does not believe that y'all will ever y'all will ever get out of here.
We're all going to die.
Yeah, like she like
It's like that's cute.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, sure. You've been here a day, you're totally getting out. I've been here hundreds of years kind of mentality.
Totally get it.
That hurt. Yeah. What would you guys like to do?
Oh, y'all, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, while Ixora was still splashing around in puddles, and Goa'uld was being Goa'uld and stoic and whatnot, thinking on the folding of space, the power systems, and the static that is coming through with the communication systems, Fiddler wants to use his laptop and his radio to try and record the signal, the static that's back there, and he wants to see if he can find any repeating patterns, any consistency, anything like cleaning it up, messing around with it. Just it wants to kind of just review the information, see is there a carrier wave that's involved, is there a signal that would be recognizable as output of a certain type of power system, anything like that. Now that we know that this has to be a massive power system here, let's see what we can find.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My question, has Fiddler used his laptop since leaving the base?
No, he actually hasn't.
Has not. Okay.
It's been in his pack. It's one of those things that he doesn't use as often unless necessary.
Okay. So you have full battery.
Mm-hmm.
You don't currently have a way to charge it. So just
right.
be aware of that. It might run out at some point. But yes, you can. Would you like to start that now, or do you want to wait till you guys?
Well, I believe he was kind of doing it while
during,
they were gone. Yeah,
during,
like
okay.
that's yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and you can roll me a engineering check.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can add you get that bonus, that technology level bonus, right? You can add that as well.
All right, so 26. And the tension dies an 8, correct?
Yep, a D8.
3, so 29.
29. Okay, yeah. So you start that process. You've definitely got that going. You think it'll function probably the way you want it to, but it will take time.
Right. I'm recording, like that's what that's why I connected two together.
Yeah.
It's copying over the signals and then running,
Yeah. And with that roll as well, you know that if you conserve your battery on your laptop, it will last for about 12 hours.
Okay.
Before it runs out.
I believe he's expecting to, like, this is priority, so he's not worried about power at this point.
Okay. Okay, absolutely. So that is running. Then I will let you know when that dings and does a thing.
Thank you.
So
I like doing things.
Xora is taking off some stuff at the lakeshore, very carefully, sitting like specimen vest as it has become now down. Anything that's not supposed to get wet, really. Down to like the tank top, whatever stuff is underneath, and is going to hold one glow stick, crack another glow stick. And it's gonna go for a little dip in the lake just to see what the bottom's like. It's probably gonna try to swim along the bottom to see what's up.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Not athletic at all. She wants to know so bad. 8.
8.
That's
okay.
Not terrible with my -1.
No, not terrible. And what's your constitution modifier?
+2. I have a decent
Plus 2. Okay, so you'll be able to hold your breath for 3 minutes.
Okay.
Because it's 1 plus your con mod. So you do this, and you hear, as you dive down, you hear Jane go, wait, and then you're underwater. The rest of you guys, Jane is like, that's a bad idea. like she and you guys see her as Xora goes under. Jane will essentially, she does the same thing as she takes off her outer clothing, and she dives in after
Wait, Jane, before you
dives in after Xora. Everybody there can actually roll me a perception check as she does.
I got the glow sticks, so you might be able to see. And
You
also, if something comes at me, I'm gonna yeet a glow stick, and hopefully it attracts the predator away. That was
natural 20, 27.
Natural 20 for 27. Okay.
6.
6.
They said they killed the toothy thing in the lake. I'm sure it's fine.
Fiddler ready the rifle.
I think me and Fiddler just like look and we're like, danger.
Okay, so I am gonna actually I'm gonna message you guys real quick.
Ooh,
fun. Secrets.
Ooh,
that's Fiddler
dangerous.
And Goa'uld. Okay. So chat amongst yourselves real quickly while I type this out.
Bloop 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 bloop. Ooh.
I'm already thinking
It was so nice to know Xora. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
was
miss
gonna
her
say.
when she's gone.
Fiddler, get the rifle ready. If you see like
No.
a shark fin,
We hear the Jaws music in the background.
Yeah. Oh,
Dun,
no.
dun, dun.
What if there's some sort of like? What if the paw thing that we saw is actually like a land and aquatic animal?
It's
and in the
a
water?
bearwolf shark.
A bearwolf
the-
shark.
Werewolf shark, yes.
The Schwer.
Wolf.
Schwerolf.
Schwerl.
Werewolf.
Schwerolf.
Oh,
The shark werewolf.
you thought the owl bear was bad.
Okay.
I mean, come on.
Goa'uld and Fiddler, you guys should have those messages now.
Oh.
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 Yes.
I look right over at Gorik.
So
Like make eye contact with him. Like
yes, you guys do that. You guys notice that. You see that. But we're gonna go to Ixora underneath
course.
the
Bloop,
water.
bloop, bloop, under the lake.
Under the lake.
Under the
So,
lake.
Ixora, you dive down, right?
With my glow sticks.
With your glow sticks, you got your glow sticks, and you guys can see like it goes about 10 feet before you lose visual of her.
The glow sticks should help extend that range a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's like 13, 14 feet, and then you guys stop seeing the glow, and you see you see Jane dive in after her. And she disappears at that 10-foot mark.
Why is it so murky? Because the eggs is obviously the giant plug at the bottom of this lake.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So Ixora, you dive down and you follow the bottom essentially. You stay close enough that you can see it, but not essentially you don't want to disturb all the silt that's down there.
The sediment, yeah.
Yeah, sediment.
So, like,
so you
6 feet above.
Yeah, you follow it for some time. You're able to
I had a
hold
good
your breath
dive
for...
to head start because I'm a tall
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, and you've got you swim. You're a tall girl. You swim pretty fast. You got some pretty long strokes. Eventually, you get to the point where you think you're not quite at the middle of the lake, but you're almost there. And there is a you see the bottom with your glow sticks, and then just sheer drop off.
Drop one of them over the sheer drop off.
Okay. You see it go down, and it goes down and down.
Oh, so the water's
down.
A little clearer down here.
Down. Eventually, you do lose sight of it. It does fade out, but it's
Just
much more clear. Yeah, it's much more clear than it was essentially above.
Okay, that's good to know.
And you recognize that you recognize that it's clear down here, but you do know that it was like murky halfway between this bottom and the top of this. Like it's straight. There's a strange divide there.
I let the air out and the clear water in, and then I close it back up.
As you do that, a hand wraps around your ankle, and you like spin around and you see Jane there, and she's like frantically gesturing up. And I need you to roll me a perception check.
Okay. All right.
Here
this is how we lose
Jaws.
myself and or Jane. 24.
24. Okay. You see it coming. There is a massive shadow on its way to you guys, essentially.
So exciting.
And she takes the glow stick from your hand and chucks it over the edge.
Oh, she doesn't need to. I'll chuck the second one.
Okay,
I'll chuck it myself. I'll just be like, I'll just point it and go, and then chuck the glow stick. Like,
and then she
and then swim back.
she grabs onto you, so she doesn't lose you. She like grabs onto like your arm, and then you guys swim back the way you came, essentially. And I need you guys are both gonna have to make stealth checks.
I'm not good at that.
Big, like
megalodon.
Not quite that big.
Like whale shark.
Orca size,
cool.
Slightly bigger than an orca.
Oh, but this lake is freshwater.
Oh no!
What could it be?
Oh no!
Could it be? Got an 11.
It's the werebear shark.
It's the schwer.
The schwer, the wolf bear shark. Yeah.
Yes.
On the surface, Ixora and Jane have been gone for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes at this point. And there's a disturbance in the surface of the lake. There's like this big ripple, and then it calms down. That's all you guys see. Below the surface,
it's distracted by the glow sticks.
Yeah, below the surface. Oh,
for
actually, you know what? We did throw glow sticks. I need to roll.
There's
for
2 of them down there. Yeah,
we're gonna roll
in the process of moving. Yes.
On a 1, it's gonna come after you guys.
On a 2, it goes for the glow sticks.
It goes for the glow sticks.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So
this is fine.
I'm
Look,
just gonna.
If the scientist doesn't go off to the spooky, mysterious place by themselves,
Are they really a scientist?
Stargate
right?
game?
Yeah. Is this a Stargate game?
Is this even Stargate?
Are they really a scientist? Good. Go ahead, Ixora, and
Yes.
please roll me initiative.
I would love to roll initiative. Yeah. 20! My god, I think that's the best initiative
20.
I've ever rolled.
Very nice. Okay. Ixora, we're gonna add, that is a 20 for Ixora. Jane is gonna roll initiative. Jesus Christ, she's not doing well. So that's an 8 for Jane. Oh, no. 20. There we go. And Jane, that's 1 8. And then
the
Big boy.
Schwerelf.
Okay, and that's a +4. That's an 18 for the big boy. And we are going to change that to descending. Okay. So you rolled an 11 for stealth, and Jane rolled a 5 + 4. That's a 9.
Yes, we are
So-
very stealthy underwater.
Big boy is going to roll a perception check. Definitely sees both of you guys.
Definitely sees
Okay.
both of us. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely sees both of you guys. Okay.
There's a chance.
And you, yeah,
Not
you
a
guys are
big chance.
moving. Yeah,
We
you guys
are.
are moving and look much more like fishy prey than glow sticks do.
Dang
So Ixora,
Yes.
you are not surprised because Jane was able to warn you.
Uh-huh.
What would you like to do?
I'm thinking of so many terrible strategies right now.
Okay.
Do I know? I want to dissuade it. And I have several equally terrible, well, debatably equally terrible options. I didn't bring my Zat with me underwater because I know that electricity and water probably don't mix very
Probably
well.
not a good idea. Yeah.
But I do have my little Beretta, my little pistol.
Okay.
And I know you can get at least one shot off underwater.
Yes.
Don't want to miss though. To dissuade it. There are many things I could do here, and again, they're all terrible. And some of them are a little questionable. How does one dissuade an orca-sized... How does one shake Shamu?
It's a good
Grenades?
question. Concussive blasts.
Yeah,
Speak dolphin to it. I don't
Something.
know.
I did think about...
Are you able?
No, I'm not
are
even
you-
gonna say it, it's that bad.
So curiosity, do you have any like telepath ideas or telepathic abilities? Like
I
what
am
is
not telepathic.
does your race have anything like that?
Nope, we are pretty regular in that regards.
Do you have anything on
I
your
was
on you
swimming.
that could
We were swimming fairly close to the water. I could try to kick up some silt. I'm gonna try to kick up some silt to make it
Okay.
harder for us to see.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a little lower and use my
visual acuities based on
my
movement?
size like 14 feet to try to kick up some more silt.
Yeah, no, go ahead and roll me
Like 7 feet
just
tall,
like,
I gotta have big feet.
just like a dexterity check.
Okay.
Just to see how much you can kick up.
How much
'Cause
I
you're-
can kick
you're
up.
Definitely gonna kick up some.
I'll just roll acrobatics because it's the same thing. I'm not proficient. So
Okay,
kick, Kate.
8. Okay. Yeah, you kick up a decent amount. You don't think it's gonna give you full cover at
Yeah.
this point.
I think it's
but
harder to suss
to
out.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that-
Absolutely.
and keep swimming. Let's see. Yeah.
Yes, and you keep moving. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
I'll hold on to, Jane still, so we don't get separated. Now that especially it's very silty, it can be harder for us to see, but we know the direction we're going. We know it's
Yes,
that way.
you know the direction you're
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
Kicking it
Okay,
behind us mostly. But, yeah.
Next up is Big Boy.
Big boy. Oh no.
20. Okay, so first I'm gonna roll a D2. On a 1, it's gonna go for you. On a 2, it's gonna go for Jane.
Fair.
Goes
No,
for Jane.
Jane.
So it's gonna roll
About that
for,
open grave I mentioned.
It's gonna roll for a bite attack.
Okay.
It is very easily able to get up to you guys.
Oh yeah.
um,
It moves faster underwater than we do, I'm assuming.
It is gonna have disadvantage because you did do that silt.
Good.
An 11 + 4.
15 hit Jane.
15. Unfortunately, she's not wearing any armor, so 15 is gonna hit Jane.
Oh no. Okay.
So she is gonna take 15
Ooh.
Good. One less problem to deal
bite
with.
damage. Let me write that down.
No, she can give us insight, man. We need her alive.
I'm gonna. Don't worry. I'll save her.
And she is now. Does he grapple with his bite, or does he just bite? Hold on.
Is it like a hit and run? Like, what kind of a shark is he?
So actually, as he gets closer,
Yeah, what kind of creature is it?
it looks like a giant catfish with like shark teeth.
That is so fascinating to Ixora.
Yeah, it's an orca-sized catfish with
What
razor sharp
fascinating terror.
shark teeth. Yeah, it's terrifying.
How terribly splendid.
Okay, so it does not automatically grapple. He has to
That's
actually do that.
good.
Is how I'm
getting a
made him.
taste right now, is
Hello.
what he's saying. Seeing who's tastier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jane does not have any weapons on her because she dipped all her stuff.
Don't worry, I tucked my Beretta into my underwear. We're good.
She's gonna take your line of action and she's gonna attempt to do more silt and hopefully give you guys some full cover as opposed to half.
She is a little more athletic.
She's not proficient in acrobatics. She does have a +4 in her dex. So, okay, for dirty 20, yes. So she is able to, essentially she like dips down, she like lets go of your hand for a second and like dips down and kicks up some sand and like really puffs it up and then grabs you again before visibility goes to 0. Now none of you can see.
Okay.
But you guys are all still pointed in the correct direction. And you can feel like that water displacement behind you from where Big Boy is somewhere in this silt.
Okay.
And then she is going to use her movement to try and drag you guys further away. And Big Boy is going to attempt to bite her with disadvantage.
Oh,
Totally
that
misses.
one. Yeah.
Totally misses. So you guys are able to get out of his bite range at this moment. Ixora, it is your turn.
Yes. So she's already been bit. I can see that. Not ideal. She is shorter than me by about a foot or so. So I'm going to swim above her. So like we got the floor beneath us, and if he's orca-sized, he's not coming up from beneath.
Right.
I'm gonna swim above her so that if it comes, it's gonna come at me, not her. Preferably.
Okay.
I'm the one on top, and I'm gonna pull out my gun, and if it comes to bite me, I'm gonna try to shoot it.
Perfect. Okay.
I dislike violence, but I also dislike being a giant orca-sized catfish. Just dinner.
Yeah, dinner. Yeah, and you guys are still moving forward.
Yeah, still moving forward. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just shuttling above her rather than side by side now.
Yeah. Okay.
Like one hand on her shoulder, and like the other one has the gun and ready.
First thing it's gonna do is roll a disadvantage perception check to see if it can find you guys. Oh, did it wrong. 2d20. And it's perception. Okay, it does not find you guys, so it is just going to attack wildly and not hit anything. So you guys can feel it behind. You can't see anything, it's too silted right now. But you guys can feel like big like water movements as it thrashes around someplace behind you guys. Jane is going to use her movement and her action to move you guys forward some more.
It's fair.
And she just like she reaches up and just, you know, you're still above her, but just drags you guys forward.
Yep, hand on her shoulder. Above her.
It is your turn again.
Same thing. I'm just gonna keep swimming along with her, and the gun is out if it comes at us again.
Perfect. Okay, it's going to do
shadowing her so that it'll try to bite me instead.
2d20. It's going to try one more time to bite you guys before it loses interest. With a 7, it does not see you guys. So it's going to bite wildly and not hit anything. Okay. You guys are able to, essentially, you kick up enough silt along the way back towards the shoreline that you essentially blind this fish and are able to get away. And you guys come up and you walk to shore with Jane bleeding profusely from a wound in like her leg.
Rock.
Yeah, and the
Oh.
rest of you guys see them come up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Take's gonna run out into the surf to help him in.
Yeah, Rock comes up as well and helps bring Jane in and then sets her down and starts
What happened,
No.
Ixora?
doing that wound.
There was a very large drop-off in very clear water once you got about, 30, 40 feet down or so, in the middle of the lake, and a very large catfish with teeth that was the size of, I believe, your killer whales, the orcas. It thought we appeared tastier than the glow sticks. And we were able to throw it off by kicking up a bunch of silt. It did bite Jane, though. I'm very sorry about that.
It hurts a lot.
I guess it's time to
her
go
response.
fishing.
I guess it's time to go fish.
And I pull out the C4.
While
My
they're all
God.
talking and
So
taking
we're
care
having
of
catfish
her,
for dinner tonight, boys.
I want to try and find Kathy.
Okay. Yeah, she
wanna
is,
sneak a blood
she's like off to
sample.
the side, back a little bit. Roll me a stealth check, Ixora.
Like I'll be like getting like a bandage and like soaking it up, and
Yeah.
so not stealthy.
Um,
Could I make a deception check instead of a sleight of hand check?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Gorik, as for your question, I don't know.
I meant it just to be hypothetical anyway. It was just like
Yeah,
interesting.
I'm not sure. I'm not seeing anything on the internet, so we'll find out if it ever happens. Okay, what was your deception check? 13.
13.
She's distracted. She doesn't notice. She's
Okay.
bleeding from her thigh at this point,
I've
essentially.
got 2 water samples and a blood sample to examine now. So,
Yes,
it's
Fiddler,
taken
you
care
of.
are able. Kathy is a bit a ways away. She's standing out of the way. She doesn't want to be in Rock's way as he's working. She's there.
I kind of back up and like, are you two familiar with the strange Goa'uld symbol, the Lord symbol that the Jaffa have been, we found on Jaffa and certain other locations?
We don't know it, but we know of it from your reports.
Right, okay. She has it on her back.
What? And Kathy is going to take a look. And Jane is just sitting there. Yeah, she sees it. So you guys, you will notice over time. You don't notice it right away, but Gorik and Fiddler know this, and now Kathy does as well, that in between her shoulder blades, the way her shirt sits, it dips down some in the back. You see branded, like an iron brand scar of the Goa'uld symbol that you guys have seen on several Jaffa and across several
Ooh.
places during your previous missions.
Great.
So I don't know that she's a Jaffa, but I know she's probably an experiment.
Yeah, I'd say definitely an experiment and an old one. They don't brand them like that anymore. They used to a long time
Jaffa
ago.
or slaves?
Both.
Okay. All right.
'Cause-
I
mean, Jaffa are slaves.
Yeah.
well,
'Cause
there are
the
slaves and then there are Jaffa.
Yeah, because the Jaffa, it wasn't until, I say recent, but it's still ancient history, until recent times that they put the Jaffa symbol on blatantly on the forehead. It's they used to hide them so their Jaffa could work more discreetly. So she could be a Jaffa. She could be just an unfortunate experiment. This is very interesting, and Ko is very concerned.
I think we should, because we know what that Goa'uld was trying to do.
One way to
Do-
find out.
Do we
Implanting.
really know? We know that one situation, but then also I think when you guys went to that one planet, they helped those people.
That was an older situation, and probably it was one of those beneficial symbiotic relationships as
Mm,
this Goa'uld gathered power.
mm,
Now they're, I mean, I mean, the most recent thing we saw was what they were doing with the Jaffa. So,
yeah,
I imagine that perhaps this was part of it, looking for the strongest of the strong.
could be. I know there have been Goa'uld in the past who have done experiments with advanced humans trying to cultivate stronger and better hosts.
Hmm.
This could be a situation like that,
I mean,
but it's so primitive.
but there's no way that, I mean, from my understanding, that symbiote could last this long. So how is
No.
she as old as she is?
No, symbiotes typically, even for Jaffa, only live a couple hundred years before they have to be removed. I don't know. I don't know. And Ko doesn't know either. We're both very confused.
Well, it's just, it's an interesting situation to be on another planet with another, there no Stargate here, and this be connected with this very specific gold we're looking for.
And we've scanned
leaves.
this. Gork leaves. Where's Gork going?
Find out more information.
Okay. We'll get to that in a second.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Kathy will when Phoenix Command was looking for a place to build Phoenix Command, we scanned the entire planet. We didn't find, there were no signs of this. That's why we sent out, well, that's why General Lawyer sent out Phoenix 1 and Phoenix 3, us, because this was not here 2 weeks ago.
I think it has been. I think
Probably shielded.
I think the systems here are probably failing slightly.
It's probably
Because
been
they're
so
old.
long. Yeah.
But the power that's being generated in this location, if I can figure it out, we're going to be surprised. I think I'm guessing this has to be ancient, because the Goa'uld have they no offense, of course, but
No.
this is beyond
Goa'uld
beyond
take
anything.
and
I-
steal technology. We don't create.
I'm thinking they just stumbled upon this place.
I think there might be a ZPM here.
The amount of power needed, there
It'd
might be
have to
more
be.
than one.
It'd have to be at least at a minimum of one. That could be why it showed up. The ZPM could be failing.
I mean, the power to run this location right here, probably. I mean, I would imagine there might be multiple for different systems.
For this type of cloaking technology, to keep this biome running down here, it would have to be, I think it'd be Atlantis level, at least 3 ZPMs to roll it over time.
Is it possible that this? I mean, we've only seen the inside. We only know what we've seen from where we're at, and an ant in a tunnel only knows the tunnel. But could this be something on the size and scope of an Atlantis?
It feels that way. I mean, with as deep as we are down, and as deep as apparently this hole in the ground goes, it feels like that. But until we find some type of like you said, panel or control or anything like that. We're in the dark here.
Well, I've got some scans running. Maybe I'll have something soon, but
Fingers
I'm-
crossed.
I'm not too positive. I'm not too comfortable with where we're at right now. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What's
this
Goa'uld
is-
doing over there?
I don't know. He just disappeared. Gorik, where are you going?
Grave digging.
Grave digging. Okay. She's distracted right now.
Mhm.
So
It's the perfect time.
Damn it.
No.
Damn it.
what do you do? How do you start? Which grave do you go with?
Hmm. Uh. Okay. What? In what order is Goa'uld script read?
So
Like
like
right to left, left to right, or up?
that's a good question.
Yeah.
I believe it's left to right.
Okay. Well, then I'd start at the left,
Um,
thinking that would be the first grave.
Like the oldest looking one. Yeah.
Let me just Google real quick. Old script read. Old language. Okay. World language. Okay, so it may have its origins in the Unos language, which we knew. So it's hieroglyphics. So it would be read the same way hieroglyphics are read, which I believe is left to right. I think.
Okay. Well,
Googling
we'll go with that.
Which direction do you read hieroglyphics in? Right to, let's see. Arabic and
Right to
Hebrew go right to left, like Egyptian. So yeah. Right to left.
Right to left. Then I'd start at the rightmost grave.
Linear A.
Also, top
Not
to
right.
bottom is typically how you read
Mhm,
ancient
mhm.
Egyptian.
Okay, yeah, we'll say right to left. We'll just go with that.
Mhm.
So you start on the right, and you know that the rightmost grave in this line of graves is the fresh, quote unquote, grave that has been dug. The one next to it seems to be the next freshest. And go ahead and roll me a strength. Just a strength check or athletics, whichever's better.
I am an athlete, so I will try that.
Okay.
20.
20, yeah. It does not take you long. Essentially, you are able to remove all of the rocks and start digging through this grave. You get down it's about 7 feet down before you hit any type of like flesh or bones or anything like that. You see when you pull away the dirt and the rocks, and you see you find the feet first, essentially, and you kind of dig and you move it up and out of the way and everything like this. It's skeleton. There's like bits, like very very minimal bits of like humanoid flesh kind of bits there. This person has been dead for a very very long time. When you get towards the abdomen, you are very familiar with Jaffa and Goa'uld anatomy, being a Jaffa yourself. You see this person had a Goa'uld in them, not as a Jaffa, but as a Goa'uld. The way the skeleton is wrapped around the person's spinal vertebrae. That in itself is very strange, because when the host dies, the Goa'uld, if they have not come out, they dissolve essentially into the
Unless it was
into
trauma, I guess. Yeah.
into the host's anatomy. They dissolve. So the fact that there's a Goa'uld skeleton here is very strange. This person, whoever they were, seems to have been a Goa'uld.
But has Jaffa anatomy?
Has Jaffa anatomy,
Okay, so yes, okay.
but has a Goa'uld.
A gold, but also played host. So yes,
Also played
okay.
host to Goa'uld. Yes.
Very peculiar.
Anything else you would like to do?
Was this being murdered?
Roll me an investigation check, please.
15.
There's definitely some trauma to the bones. You can't determine if it was murder, but this person did die violently. Which, with the circumstances that you've seen, might not have been murder, it might have just been environmental causes. So you're not totally sure.
This doesn't seem that two gold don't really mix. In the history of what I know.
And in close quarters,
Yeah.
Goa'uld typically don't really live together.
Yeah.
Unless they're like a mated pair or something like that.
Okay. Well, all right. I will return.
Okay.
Just covered in dirt.
Yep.
I won't even try to hide it.
Yeah, you're just totally covered in dirt. During that time, Rock was able to essentially like field stitch her wounds closed so she's not bleeding out.
We got little med packs.
Yeah, you guys have the med packs.
So she can get back. I have this written down. Med packs. Like a certain number of hit points.
Right.
Yeah.
Isn't like a quarter of the damage dealt or something like that? Is that what I remember?
He's proficient. So he would heal 2d8 if she was wounded.
Oh, okay. 2d8. So she'll heal 6. Okay.
Nice.
So not bad. Almost half of what she took. Good. She took 15. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so she heals that up, and he has like he field stitches her wounds closed and like wraps her up, and she is good to go. And like her blood is all over the sand. Like she looks like a mess.
Yeah. I'll have gotten back dressed by now.
Yeah, and she with Rock's help, she stands up, and Kathy has gone into the woods to get like a thick stick that Jane can use as like a crutch, essentially. And Jane will put her clothing back on as well, and she's good to go. She doesn't look happy, but she's like, we should probably head back now that we've got our supplies and our water.
Sorry again.
You didn't know I told you that the monster was dead and didn't mention that there might be new ones, so it's fine.
Y'all killed one of those things that you just described?
Not quite that. It was different. Had like a dangly light in front of its head. Bigger.
Oh.
But yes. A creature in the water we killed, yes. This one's been in here for several years. I alone have not been able to take it down, so.
Hello. Without explosives.
That's because they don't have
Without
C4.
C4. Don't have any grenades.
Is some live bait and duct tape and C4, and that fish will be gone.
Having a fish fry for the next several months.
Looks like the meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yeah.
Again.
Again.
Okay, so you guys go ahead and discuss what your next steps are, what you're going to do now. I am going to take a very quick bathroom break. I will be right back.
Certainly.
Okay.
Fiddler. Ixora.
Yes.
Hello?
I am in need of your expertise.
Certainly.
Oh,
That's
what
I
did
said
you
coming
break?
back.
What did you bring?
I fix things. That's what I. Okay, never mind. I was just. What
I
did you
just look
question?
away from Fiddler. Exora, I need your expertise.
Of course, Gork. What is it that you require?
I walk around, so he's looking at me as well.
I'm just like, my hair is just flat. It's like, wait, because it's normally super curly, so it's just like twice as long. I look like Cousin It just a little bit, but not much taller.
I have found something that might interest you.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Oh,
quite
oh.
the oddity.
Ixora was busy. You might want to know because while he's doing that, we also noticed on Jane's back that she has the brand of the
Oh my.
Jaffa, the
mystery of
Goa'uld Lord we were looking
Mystery
for.
Goa'uld Lord. Oh,
Ooh.
that
And
is troubling.
Kathy and Cole say it's the positioning in the back there. That's the old way of doing things, like very, very old.
Very, very well. She did say she was
Hmm.
several hundred years old.
No, very old.
Oh, like 1,000 years
Well,
old?
okay, maybe not that long, but I mean, it's been. She mentioned it been hundreds and hundreds of years since Goa'uld
I see.
were doing that
Well,
sort of thing.
maybe
So
there's an old-fashioned Goa'uld out there.
Well,
Likes things done the old-fashioned way
we
several hundred years
imagine
ago.
we imagine that this place is probably
Very old.
very old. We think it might be along
Ancient.
by the ancients,
We
on
did
the
see
scale
evidence of it.
of Atlantis,
Oh, that would be quite large scale. It would
Possibly
explain some
be-
things.
possibly multiple ZPMs and one's malfunctioning, and that's why we found it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all conjecture. I've got some scans running right now that I'm processing.
Do you
I
need to
might
stay
have an
here for those
idea.
scans? Because we could
Hmm.
have some
No,
people go back. Okay.
Location doesn't matter. It's but ambient energy and distortion.
Right, well, Gorak, did you need my help here or elsewhere? Like, what kind of help is it that you require?
I think it would be easier for you if you were to come with me than for me to describe.
All right, then. Why don't we all start? I have marked the trail back to the cave so we can follow you back if you all want to get a head start.
Jane looks a little confused. All right. Be careful. There are things out here that are
Yes, I will
dangerous.
keep my eyes out.
Gorik nods in agreement, looking directly at her.
Okay. So Jane, Kathy, and Rock will head back. Jake, do you go with them or do you stay with Ixora, Gorik, and Fiddler?
I was actually thinking about this while they were talking. I'm like, he'll go out on a limb and trust him. He'll go back with Brock
Okay.
and Kathy.
Okay, absolutely. So you guys start to head back. Easy enough. You find Ixora's markings, and you know that should be able to follow them back.
Okay.
Okay. You guys start that journey.
They also have Jane. We're the ones who might be
Yeah,
in trouble.
they've got Jane as well. Yeah. She definitely knows the way back. Ixora, Gorik,
Yes.
and Fiddler, what you guys doing?
I'm prepared to follow Gorik. Squeeze up my hair some.
I'm following along, thinking I might not be very necessary in this particular endeavor.
I take them to the gravesite
Oh my.
and show them what I have found.
Yep, you guys all see it plain as day. This was a Jaffa that had a Goa'uld in them. They were a host to a Goa'uld.
That experiment we interrupted on our first mission.
Seems he has been at this experiment for quite some time.
Apparently has not been long-term successful or lost his research or something.
Perhaps, and he just kind of like looks into the distance, the direction Jane traveled.
Kathy does not believe, Ko as well, do not believe that Jane is a Goa'uld, but if this is what's going on, then perhaps there is something off. Perhaps they're not full Goa'uld? You'll definitely have to monitor Jane's healing rate.
That's what you get from this.
Yes.
Aren't the fact that we see the remains strange?
Well, yes, quite peculiar. I wonder if they're all like this.
All right. Well,
Sorry,
here is a question. Oh,
Yes.
this is something we haven't considered. Is it the Jaffa that are being changed? Or is it the Goa'uld?
that is
Who's
a
being
question.
experimented on here?
We did read a plaque up above that said something about a Goa'uld being exiled. That was
Goa'uld
not
Queen.
a Goa'uld queen being exiled. Which, based on history, does not seem to line up with that of the Tok'ra queen. Perhaps there's something else at work. Here is Will. Yep, I'm digging up another one of these. Oh. If it's as long as you say, it's long enough to count as archaeology, not grave robbing. And I'm going to start. I'm going
We're
to
not
go
taking
for the.
anything from these graves.
That
Besides
is also a
information.
fair point.
Very true.
Yes, I'm going to go for a middle one because if this is the first one, this could have been something interesting. And we're not going to look at the like one in the middle between the newest and the oldest here.
Okay. Yeah. You
And since we know which way they're facing, I'm gonna try to unearth the head area first.
the head area. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to do that. No problem. It doesn't take you long. It takes you about like 10 minutes or so to move all the
Yeah.
rocks with everybody's help out of the way. Get the upper half of this being's body unburied. You see very similar. This appears to be Jaffa anatomy. This one's a little different. You
Okay.
see a symbiote skeleton where like the stomach pouch would be. And you also see partial remains of a Goa'uld
Around the spine.
around the spine. You see like a couple of bones here and there, like fragments. Maybe it was partially dissolved or something there. Not much else is very evident with the rate of decay and how long it's been there. You're just going based off of the bones and their locations.
Yes. Okay. This one is different. Making notes, furiously scribbling. Well, I guess we'll hit the newest one, and maybe that'll give us a fuller picture. Oh, well, another one. What's one more?
Okay. So which one are you digging up next?
The one before Jane's.
Gorik already dug that one up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
so,
the one I dug up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I go for the oldest one then, I guess.
The oldest one? Okay.
Mhm. So we've got the newest, middle.
Yes.
Yep.
You dig that one up. And I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
As you do, please.
It's a trap! Goa'uld's gonna go try to get me. Oh no, okay. Oh, I don't like that laugh when I said that. When I said that.
No, it's a chest
Dex
burster.
saves.
It's still alive!
We find out we're connected with our aliens universe.
I got a 20! A dirty 20.
20. Okay,
I rolled a
dirty
19.
20. Very nice, very nice. Okay, you
Catch it. Or
these
avoid it.
are like hand dug graves, right? There's no
Mhm.
coffin, there's nothing between
Yeah.
the bones and the dirt, essentially.
Yeah.
You with
Very
your
careful.
dexterity save, you are able to uncover these bones without essentially dissolving them because they are
Causing damage.
so
Okay.
old.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so glad. So
Yeah.
glad that I made that check.
Yes. These even without like your tools or anything like that, these are ancient bones. Like Unas time for the Goa'uld, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe. You see the anatomy here is similar to the early Unas. Not the Unas who became hosts, maybe like a generation or two before.
Okay.
And you see kind of similar to the other one, you see fragments of a symbiote. Nothing solid. You can't tell like what age this symbiote was. With the other one, you could tell it was a fully grown symbiote, right? With the size of the bones. With this one, you can't tell if it's a fully grown, if it was a baby, if it was,
Okay.
like middle
And
age.
this one was it around the neck or in the
around the neck, around the neck. Yeah. And that is what you're able to find without damaging the bones. Seems like this person has tried
All right.
more than one species.
Well, this one's in ancient Unas.
An Unos.
Yes, not
Really?
yes, ancient Unas, like before they were really hosts commonly.
Ooh, 1 second, my headphones.
Oh no, they died. It's all right. We can talk about this.
Are your headphones charged?
Uh-oh.
Hmm.
So,
I'm beginning to think. Oh, we know that
Interesting. and there
the
was
an-
a host.
we know that the ancients like to. Some of them like to experiment with people, with things, forced evolution and all that. But this is. I mean, if it's prior to the Unas. I mean, was there anything before the Unas?
This is the longest running experiment I've ever heard of.
Is quite a long-running experiment.
Okay,
Unless
can you guys hear me?
yes,
Yes.
unless this was.
Okay, hold on, I can't hear you guys.
Oh no. Dun, dun,
Okay. Oh, there we go. I can hear you guys
dun.
now.
Nice.
Sorry, my headphones died.
Yes. The longest. We were basically like, this is the longest running experiment we've ever heard of.
Oh. Yes.
Unless this was one of the first Goa'uld to take an Unas as a host, and perhaps was a queen? Perhaps this was the queen in exile, and then I don't know. There's so many things it could be. This is quite puzzling. Different anatomies, different races. How many graves are there total?
27, not including the
new one, the Jane.
The Jane grave, essentially.
Okay.
Is there anything else in the graves around the bodies?
There's no signs of like clothing or tools or anything like that. It's just the bones.
Burial shroud. Nothing like that. Okay.
You imagine remain insight check. Everybody can.
Oh, yes, wonderful. It's very primitive. They may not have had burial shots. 21!
21.
6.
Okay. Fiddler, you're not sure. Burial practices of Goa'uld are unknown to you. Ixora, you know, and Gorik, you would know as well, being a Jaffa. While the Goa'uld have very specific like burial practices, they don't really die. So like until they go crazy like you does. This seems to be more so the hosts who are doing the burials. You imagine in this setting, because it's so primitive, and two, it's so the resources are so limited, that they preserve everything. Essentially, they reuse everything. So what the dead had goes to the community, is the vibe that you're picking up, essentially. And that's why they're not buried with anything.
Probably not buried with anything because it is so primitive, as you put it here, Fiddler.
Means they've been limited on resources for
A very extremely long time, it would seem.
time.
I hate this place.
It's quite interesting, baffling, puzzling.
As you say that, I hate this place. It is very interesting, baffling, puzzling. Everybody roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh,
and
no.
Jake, this includes you as well.
Oh,
Constitution
no.
saving throw?
I figured
Yes,
it did.
Please.
Oh, my God. I got a 20.
20, okay.
14.
14, okay.
13.
13, okay. Gorik,
a 6. Yeah, so I
six
got-
for
I got
Gorik.
6.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so I need to roll for 1d20 for Rock.
Whatever this is, it affects me a hell of a lot.
Rock 2, you're not alone.
For Kathy and Co. Okay. And for Jane, natural 20.
Well, of
Very
course
nice,
she
Jane.
would. She's
Of course she
the local.
would.
Sorry.
Some sort of anti-Jaffa weapon.
Before that happens, you guys roll those con saves. Thank you.
Mhm.
We're gonna switch over to Jake,
Yes.
Kathy,
Mhm.
Rock, and Jane for a moment. You guys are heading back. Jane is able to guide you following Ixora's markings back towards the caves. Is there anything you guys would like to do in the meantime?
Well, I mean, it's going to be probably a little bit slow going getting back, but he wants to get Jane bandaged up, taken care of.
She has been. Rock was
Okay.
able to take care of that
I was
when
gonna say, if
she
she
came to
hasn't.
shore.
I think it'd be more just kind of inquisitive questioning. So you
Okay.
could probably ask Jane if she's available to talk okay with it, and be like, so you killed another creature in that water, and now you got this thing. Did you ever make it down deeper than what she's describing?
No, I've been to where she was. We went down to the drop off. I've been down in the drop off, but it's endless. I cannot hold my breath that long.
We need some scuba
I
gear.
was gonna say we didn't bring any scuba gear.
Nope.
We didn't think we need scuba gear.
Nope. You're going into a temple. Who needs scuba gear in a temple?
We'll know
Yeah,
for
no
next
joke.
time.
Next time.
Just bring
Yeah.
all the gear with us
All
everywhere,
the- everything.
all the time.
Every
the time.
time. Scuba gear at the very least from now on.
Hey,
Yeah,
just give me like 5 hours and like
Some
the
oxygen.
right type of like
Yeah.
some vines and some some tree bladders.
We just
I-
need
I-
enough
Yeah.
sheep's
Make it work,
intestine.
yeah.
Make
And
us
a
a
barrel.
rebreather.
Enough lake
Go.
sheep.
Enough
Yes, we need
sheep.
leg sheep. Yes.
And a barrel. Yep.
Yes.
Just give me a minute. I'll figure it out.
I like it.
But yeah, that's what she tells you, is that she can't hold her breath long enough to get down to the bottom, if there is a bottom.
Yeah. He would kind of look at her and be
Tried
like,
holding a big rock on the way down.
can descend faster.
Although
death.
you might not be able to get back up.
Get back up, yeah.
One way
You
trip.
just have to let go
I-
of the rock.
I do know that the water, it moves, right? You saw, you felt.
Mhm.
It comes from that hole.
I got a lot of questions and a lot of thoughts in my brain going on, but none that Jake would ask her at the time. So
Okay.
I think he would just make sure that she's comfortable, okay, and make sure that we're, I guess, back at the place and safe. Keep it easy.
Okay. Fiddler, it was cool, not hot, not cold, but comfortable.
Okay.
Not quite as cold as like natural spring water, but not like the temperature, not like room temperature either. Somewhere in that range. So then you guys are walking as you guys are headed. You're about you're a ways in, about an hour in. It took Ixora, Goric, and Fiddler about an hour to dig up all of those graves and find all that information before this thing happens. You're all walking and you hear this sound, and it starts low. It's like this rumbling in your chest that you can feel through every inch of your body. It intensifies and intensifies, and you feel heavier and heavier and heavier, like you've got this weight on your chest, and it keeps going, and it forces everyone, even if you pass your save, it forces everyone to the ground. You are like flat. You feel like an elephant is standing on your chest, kind of thing. Anyone who rolled below a 15, so that's gonna be
Everyone but me and Kathy and Jane.
yeah.
Yep.
You all lose consciousness as this continues.
Oh
Yeah. So Ixora,
no. Uh-huh. I'm glad one of us out of the three isn't unconscious.
you are conscious.
Yep.
Kathy and Jane are also conscious, but they are far away from you.
I'm sorry. All the women in the group are fine.
The women are fine. Oh, funny how that worked out. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check, please.
Sure. Space int.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's 17.
17.
I've been digging all day.
This is G-force. This is
We're moving.
You've got G's on your chest right now.
This is G's, because I guess I was wondering, I'm like, oh, we're moving.
Yeah.
We are. Oh no.
Yep.
G's.
Moving somewhere. Don't know where. Don't know when. Yeah, but you're moving.
Oh dear. I think she just says that out loud. Or like, we're all plastered to the ground. She's just like, oh dear. We are going places.
No response, because Goric and Fiddler are unconscious.
Oh
next to you.
no! The G's have knocked them out.
Yeah, you're able to like look at them from like the corner of your eyes. You see that Gorik's like nose
circulatory
is
system's
bleeding.
Used to pumping real hard to get all this height going. So yeah.
Gorik's nose is bleeding. Fiddler's unconscious, and he's got like a little bit of blood coming from his ear. They seem to be having some trouble breathing.
This is not good.
It's not good. Not good.
This doesn't last for long.
Kathy and Jane,
the two injured conscious people.
Yeah, the two injured conscious people. They notice that essentially same thing for Rock and Jake. They're either bleeding from their nose or their ears. I
wonder if Jane remembers this happening before. Kathy asked the question.
Yeah, they're struggling to breathe. The camera, as Travis would say,
yes,
is it kind of like zooms in on Kathy and Jane, and you guys, the camera sees Jane is very confused. She does not seem to know what is going on. Kathy and Co notice this. They, notate. And then Jane loses consciousness.
Oh.
Even with, you guys don't
know her nat 20. Yeah.
Her nat 20. But she loses consciousness. Kathy notes
Does she lose consciousness in a different way?
Not that Kathy can tell.
Okay.
It just seems
the chip in her brain. It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah. The way it appeared is that she just lost consciousness slower than the guys did.
Interesting.
everyone who's still awake, so that would be Kathy and Ixora, as this pressure continues, as these G forces continue, go ahead and roll me another Constitution saving throw, please.
Gosh, oh, no, I'm not gonna roll that well again.
Yeah. Okay.
16.
Okay.
I'm still up.
Kathy goes unconscious. Ixora, you are still conscious. But that is where we're going to end tonight's episode, as pretty much the entire party is under the force of several G's, not just one, several G's.
G's force.
Yeah, G's force. You appear to be moving to some unknown location. Things are happening. Yeah. So that is that for tonight's episode for part 1 of Mission 7, Secrets and Sacrifices. We will continue with part 2. I was kind of hoping we would be able to get through. We got through about half, so that's not bad.
We knocked out the last 2, one each, so yeah.
Yeah. So not next week, but the week after, we will be back with episode 7, Secrets and Sacrifices part 2, on April 25th. That will be the day. What we'll do now, we're just going to go around, tell us who you are, your favorite part. I'll start with me, and then I'm going to hand it off to our channel leader, Lindy. I'm Nugatosaurus. You can find me here on Mondays, in our Mondays in Exandria game, as well as Gate Mastering every other Tuesday, and then of course the occasional Saturday. I loved a lot of things in this episode. I really liked Ixora just diving into the water. I liked Goa'uld being the one to be like, this is suspicious as hell. I'm going to go dig up some graves. I really liked Fiddler's ingenuity with his laptop and
it's still recording all this.
Still recording.
Yeah.
It's still recording.
Nice timing with that.
Yep. He's still recording all of this information. And then I also really liked Jake and I think it was Jake and Kathy that went and did the graves together.
Yep.
and had
Jake
some conversation there as well. I'm very excited for you guys to figure out what is happening and have some plot points revealed next session, and maybe meet some people, some things, some secrets will happen, some more secrets. You guys had some big secrets that kind of came out, like with this biome possibly being a ship, things like that. Yeah, that's me. I'm very excited to see where you guys go next time, and thanks for joining us, and thanks for being amazing players, and I'm excited. I can't wait.
Fantastic. Let's go in reverse order. Jake Miller, how was tonight for you?
It was great. I really enjoyed it, and like the mystery and the story surrounding this lady in this place. I like delving into this stuff, finding out more about it, and the secrets are coming slow, but we're figuring it out slowly but surely. I like that Fiddler found out a bit more ancient, possibly, stuff, and I'm very excited to see where this goes. So yeah, my favorite part's just all the discovery and the fun, and I had fun. See everybody again Mondays, Tuesdays, and yeah, thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you. Fabulous. Goa'uld, how is tonight for you?
Ooh, pretty crazy. My favorite part was definitely actually something come of digging the grades up. I was kind of half and half on whether we'd find anything out, but I'm glad that turned out good. And I just really enjoy this game, and it's always crazy and very mysterious. I love it. And thank you all. And oh yes, I'm Decorny Kudira. You can find me playing here Mondays, Tuesdays, sometimes on Saturdays, and also sometimes playing GTRP. I own a gas station now.
Yes. What a wonderful business entrepreneur. Speaking of wonderful, Fiddler, how was tonight for you?
Oh, I like that. I like that toss over to me. Great. No, good. I had an absolute blast. Fiddler is really excited because there might be technology to play with now. Once we get through all this dirt and organic crap, I can start kicking things like I'm supposed to. Which is literally, he has a skill that he can kick or punch something and it fixes it, which is wonderful. I get to Fonzie something maybe.
Yep.
I'm Deception Check. You can find me here on Mondays for the new batch, which I run with all these people, and producer Trav when he can brave the wilds of Wisconsin to come to us.
Yes.
And then Tuesdays here, and occasionally Saturdays for aliens, and occasionally in the background of D20 Coup de Grace GTA streams at his gas station, maybe. Favorite part, I love the fact that the depth of the things we found at the grave sites, the ancient Unas, all the way through to the empty grave. I thought all those was really great things that we don't know. Finding out the symbol on Jane's back, that was a pretty big deal. Like instantly, we're in the right place right now. All of this was great. I loved it all. I love how crazy we are at times with Ixor diving into the water, Goa'uld just going to dig up some graves that we're not supposed to dig up. Jake just trying to be political. It's just like PC trying to help everybody, and Fiddler just upset because he can't science something. So it's been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you. My favorite moments for tonight, because that just leaves me, I love the mental image of like the camera like panning up, like the straight up like drone pan of all of us being unconscious, or like the G-forces, especially our little group, because we're surrounded by like 3 dug up graves, so there's like 3 skeletons, and then the 3 of us also just plastered to the ground. That was just my mental image, and it was very poetic and beautiful.
And most of those skeletons are probably gone now with these G-forces.
The G-forces.
Dust.
So it's good we looked when we did. Also, this is all probably my fault. When I threw those glow sticks down, they pushed the recall button at the bottom of the Atlantean technology, and we're going back home. Just took a minute to power up, or somebody, one of the Stargate SGP-3 I bet you they found some technology and they fucked with it, and they're the reason why we're all like, down here now. It was one of us's fault. We just don't know who yet, and I hope they figure it out, and that we survive until then. But yeah, that, and then of course the giant water and Fiddler and Gork both noticing something after I dove into the water, and maybe like, la 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 la, just swimming. Because if we didn't dig up graves and dive into mysterious lakes, would we be a Stargate team? No. No. And we are only overly cautious when there is nothing wrong. So that is the way to play Stargate. So thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We had a lovely time, and we can't wait to see you, not next week, but the week after for more Stargate. You can find us, however, on Monday for more of our Mondays in Exandria, the new batch, and on Friday, 28th of April, for Aliens. We are on so many countdowns and timers and clocks that it's ridiculous, and we're all probably going to die terribly, but beautifully and wonderfully. So thank you all for watching. Until next time, have fun and play games.